Ahoy or ahoy again, whichever happens to apply to you. You may notice I'm starting things off a bit differently this time. I've got the scoreboard from last time up there, and I've got some videos looping from last time over there as I ramble a little bit. So I'm still working on a handstand on the rings at the gym, and as I expected, life got in the way and I got sick. So I was out a little bit longer than I would have liked to have been, but I'm back at it on November 5th for my 8th attempt. Now, last time I got 135 seconds in the air with 6 touchdowns, though that doesn't really paint a complete picture because the camera fell over on the 3rd attempt. So, as always, today I'm hoping I can do better, and I do know I could rack up a lot of time with very few touchdowns if I was to just do something easy like stay in the middle. But personally, I'm more interested in progress than I am just a raw number. So, as far as doing better, that also applies to these videos. And I feel like I've made it pretty clear that I'm not a cinematography major, but I have noticed some issues that I've been working on addressing. So I've noticed some gaps between frames on early videos, issues with freeze frames at the beginning and ends of attempts, and some background noise. And while I can't go back and fix these things, I am going to work on addressing them in the future. So let me get big here for a moment and present a theory. I've also made it pretty clear that I'm not a physiology major, but I have a theory that there's a difference in what I would call main muscles and balance muscles. And I think the vast majority of the population uses these balance muscles for very brief periods of time, just to get their weight back to where a main muscle can support it. Now, what's physically attractive is a very relative thing. But for me personally, I find that people that do gymnastics or calisthenics tend to have very nice upper halves. And people that do things like figure skating and ballet tend to have very nice lower halves. Now, the commonality between those two things, in my opinion, is that both are loading what I would consider to be balance muscles for extended periods of time. Now, I've also said that I'm not a historically athletic person, but I can feel the rings everywhere in my upper half. In my shoulders, of course, but also my back, chest, core, and even my forearms. And I don't expect I'm going to be taking my shirt off for this channel. This is not that kind of YouTube channel, but it's noticeable in the videos when I start to take my weight off the ground that my triceps and my forearms just blow up. So that's enough theorizing and rambling. Let's see what we can accomplish today. So as promised last time, I did hang a 45 on each end of this thing to make it a little bit safer. And as per usual, the framing isn't great, but again, bear with me and it'll get better in a couple weeks. So, attempt number 1, let's see what we can do. We're off the ground. L sit, which doesn't look quite as shaky as normal. And up, maybe. Up we go. Oh, and back down. And that's pretty even left to right. And baby iron cross. Yes. Up we go. Oh, that's slanted off to the left quite a bit. Okay, that's it for that one. So if we go to the scoreboard, we can add 36.9 seconds in the air with 1 touchdown. So on to the next one. Okay, attempt number 2. Here we go. And again, I really think the Elsa looks considerably less shaky than even last time. Still off to the left, but that's really not sunk down that far. And I don't think I touched on the way down there. And I don't think I touched the bar there either. It's kind of hard to say from the framing. Gonna go up again. Yes, we are. Still off to the left. Okay, that's it for that one. And if we go off to the scoreboard, we can add 39.6 seconds in the air and no touchdowns. So on to the next one. Okay, perhaps marginally better framing here. Let's see what we can do. That is a lot of swinging we've started off with. Okay, and I'm not going to count that jumping around as multiple touchdowns. I'm just not going to count any time until I really get situated and back up in the air. So that'll just be 1 touchdown for that. Looks like we might be off to the left a little bit still. Another touchdown. Okay, and that's it for that one. And if we wander off to the scoreboard, we can add 35 seconds in the air and 2 touchdowns. All right, attempt number 4. See what we can do. And I'm trying to get up without sinking, and I think I'm doing a lot better job of it. I mean, I still sink down a little bit, but I'm not totally buried there. And coming down slowly is a lot more difficult because I'm coming all the way down from the top. So I feel like a lot more touchdowns are going to be involved with getting that high up. I think we just barely touched there. And that was a pretty gentle up. You try to go for another one? No, we are not. Okay, and if we go to the scoreboard, that's 44.7 seconds in the air and 3 touchdowns. So let's go to the last one. Okay, 5th and final attempt of the day. Let's do it. And I think my legs might be getting up higher for my L-sit too. As far as baby iron crosses go, I think I'm trying to figure out where I like my legs. If I like them crossed up under me, or, oh, that was kind of odd. I don't think I touched there, but that was an awkward coming down. And that was a very gentle up. And I wasn't totally sunk down either. Okay, that's it for that one. So we can add another 31.4 seconds and 0 touchdowns. So that gives us a grand total of 187.6 seconds in the air and 6 touchdowns. Okay, some takeaways, and I'm going to get out of here. Maybe I am a hopeless optimist because yet again, I think it's looking even better. I feel like I'm getting upside down without sinking down quite as far. I think my L-sits look considerably less shaky. I also think that the transition from an L-sit up into a handstand, while not totally smooth, is getting a lot better. So I did have quite a few touchdowns, but I will say having a controlled descent from all the way at the top is going to be a challenge. So I'm also leaning off to the left a bit, and I think that's probably a product of my left side being weaker than my right. So I did have a personal record for time in the air, and I'm now over 17.5 minutes in the air across these 8 days. But as per usual, it does need more work, but that's okay because I'm going to put in more work. So as per usual, that's it for the day. Feel free to check back in or not. Up to you.